In shape, 145.
Yeah.
In shape. You know what I mean? So this is different from a Crawford coming up to 168, but we know his walk around weight is probably 170, 180.
Tank Davis, only shortcoming, pun intended, is his height. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility.
Terence Crawford recently met Gervonta Tank Davis before his fight with Jake Paul. He shared a few training tips and fight strategies with him. Both champs showed great respect for each other while discussing techniques and ring tactics. Crawford praised Davis' hard work and focus, calling him one of the best today. He even said he'd be open to fighting Davis one day, not out of rivalry, but out of respect for boxing.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that's moving up 2 weight classes, and, daring to be great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
You got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow.
Man.
Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147
Ooh, see, oh man.
You're gonna have a pre-camp.
Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
I don't know.
Tank Davis seems to be taking inspiration from Terence Crawford, one of boxing's most skilled and adaptable fighters. Crawford's preparation ahead of his matchup with Canelo Alvarez drew attention for his smooth stance switches, sharp balance, and unpredictable rhythm. Now, it looks like Tank is applying a similar approach. Recent training footage shows him experimenting with footwork, changing angles, and even switching stances mid-combination, something fans haven't seen much from him before. Analysts believe Davis isn't just learning from Crawford. He's also studying Jaron Boots Ennis, a fighter known for switching stances effortlessly. This new evolution could be part of Davis's strategy to shock everyone when he steps into the ring against Jake Paul.
Right. This is scary. Gervonta Tank Davis is working on his versatility. We already know he has that ultimate equalizer, that special God-gifted one-punch knockout power. But he also can box. Gervonta Tank Davis, he's very durable, has a chin, never seen him visibly hurt. Gervonta Tank Davis also has great footwork and foot placement. And here you see Gervonta Tank Davis' only shortcomings, pun intended, is his height. He's 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. But as you can see here, he's working on his versatility. He's now working on fighting orthodox. He's naturally a southpaw. Now he's working on fighting orthodox. Great switch hitters, no diddy in the sport of boxing.
According to Showbiz The Adult, a respected boxing analyst, the upcoming fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul must deliver genuine excitement. He explained that many fans worry it could end up looking more like a friendly sparring match, with both fighters holding back to avoid embarrassment. But Showbiz warned that if that happens, it could seriously damage their reputations. Fans would quickly lose interest, and neither fighter would attract pay-per-view attention again. With both Tank and Jake commanding massive audiences who crave action, this fight can't afford to be slow or cautious. It needs real intensity and energy, because if the bout turns dull, the hype and momentum behind it could disappear overnight.
Ending. It could be career ending. Jake Paul can end his whole shit. That's the black. Tank can end Jake Paul's whole shit. And if that fight is meh, and it's just a sparring session that's tit for tat, their shit's over. Because people gonna be pissed that it's exactly what they expected it to be. They can't do that. If they do, their career's ruined. Jake Paul's career's ruined, and Tank. If they make it meh and just touch, both their brands suck. That's the black two sugars. You mess around in that bell ring, and you see little Tank, and you see big Jake, and he's throwing a jab, and little Tank making a miss, and bam, and y'all gonna be like, whoa! say I'm lying. Y'all know what? Yes, say I'm lying. Please say I'm lying. But y'all gonna be right there cheering. Because you ain't never seen nothing that damn bizarre. Even De La Hoya versus Shaq had headgear and Shaq ain't a boxer. That right there, fireworks. Because you're going to be holding your breath. Especially Tank fans. I'm going to be like, don't hit Tank. You're going to see Tank little ass legs. He's going to come. And big ass Jake, big legs and big ass head. Watch. Y'all talk all that shit now because y'all love talking shit. Y'all love hating on things until you see it. Like women back in the 90s. I remember my sisters back in the 90s. You ain't that cute. You ain't, but all on your shit. That's what y'all do. Y'all talk shit, but y'all the first ones there.
Thurman recently shared his thoughts on the constant criticism aimed at Gervonta Tank Davis. He pointed out that many of the same people who complain about Tank are also the ones who never miss his fights. According to Thurman, these so-called critics claim Tank's performances aren't impressive, yet they continue to tune in. Every time he steps into the ring, he believes this actually proves that even negative attention keeps Tank's name buzzing. In the boxing world, every time fans talk down his fights, they end up giving him more exposure, adding to his fame instead of hurting it. In Thurman's eyes, Tank's critics are unknowingly fueling his success.
If you're really not happy with Tank, first off, don't watch Tank. Don't do it. You know what I'm saying? You support it, then what you doing? You can't not support and support at the same time, right? So if you're a boxing purist, then this fight with Roach is really more for you. It's going to be more up your alley, you know? If you just like all entertainment, all fights, all hypes, all everything, then you're going to want to tune in to the Tank and Paul show there, you know, because that's all for entertainment. What does it say? For entertainment purposes only, right? It should say like somewhere in the small print of the promotion. For entertainment, don't do this at home, kids. You know, so fine.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. For entertainment purposes only, you know. So, it's money-making purposes only. You know, it is what it is.
Claressa Shields suggested that the only logical matchup for Gervonta Tank Davis would be against Shakur Stevenson. Tank didn't appreciate the comment. He fired back with a calm but firm response, saying that no one has the right to tell him what to do. His message was simple. If people want to be fans, they should enjoy the fights, not act like managers. This reaction seems to come from something deeper. After his draw with Lamont Roach, a wave of criticism hit him online, with many fans calling him overrated. That negativity clearly struck a nerve. Now, Tank appears to have a new mindset. He's done chasing approval or meeting expectations. From this point on, he's fighting on his own terms, for himself, not for anyone else's validation.
And it says that, pretty much the only people that can beat him is Shakur Stevenson, and I don't know who else he said. He said she thought that at a point in time that Devin Haney could beat him, but now she doesn't believe that. But so really the only fight that there is for Gervonta Davis is Shakur. What a mighty, mighty convenient argument. And Gervonta Davis responded, and basically his response was, "Come on, girl, stop talking about me so much because you're making me feel like I'm special." Right? So he pretty much just, kind of blows it off. But I really think that there's something much deeper going on here, and it is that this, and I said it again, I said it in another video, I'll say it in this one. The Bud Buddies. The Bud Buddies are a crew of boxers that all hang around and worship Terence Bud Crawford. And the main two members of it, besides the people that are actually in Terence Crawford's camp, as fighters are Shakur Stevenson and Claressa Shields, without a doubt. Claressa Shields is a huge backer of Terence and a huge backer of Shakur Stevenson. At the end of the day, the only thing she really cares about is what's in the best interest of Shakur Stevenson. And anything and everything she say is angled that way to get Gervonta Davis to do something that Shakur Stevenson wants him to do, which is really do all the hard work, and then be there for Shakur Stevenson to become a star at the end of it. I'm telling you, man, I believe that to the bottom of my soul, that is the same plan that Terence Crawford ran on Errol Spence.
The upcoming matchup between Gervonta Tank, Davis, and Jake Paul doesn't quite fit the mold of traditional boxing. Many analysts argue that fights like this sit somewhere between sport and spectacle, rather than representing pure competition. What makes this matchup even more unusual is that both fighters are still in their prime. Typically, exhibition bouts happen when boxers are past their peak, much like Floyd Mayweather's recent showcase fights. But in this case, both Davis and Paul are active, capable, and still building their careers. That's what makes the event so intriguing and confusing. It blurs the line between a legitimate boxing contest and a viral entertainment stunt designed to grab global attention.
With fighters pretty much in their prime. But other than the size mismatch, most people are wondering, why has Tank taken this fight? And those were the first questions targeted to Tank in this presser, because usually these sorts of bouts are relegated to the latter part of your career. And for most Gervonta Davis supporters, they thought they would get the big fights next, the Shakurs. They didn't think he would be fighting Jake Paul. Although Tank tried to push it off as fans should just be happy watching the sport and hey, haters will be haters, I think that's quite unfair to the people who have been loyal supporters of him and honestly have paid his bills. He tried to compare the level of criticism he gets to the likes of Mayweather, but the difference is with his mentor Floyd, he really did fight a lot of champs in their prime. As Tank, well, not really. The most notable fight he's recently had that the people actually wanted was the Ryan Garcia fight, and the only reason he took that fight was because everything was on his terms. And other than the Ryan fight over the last couple years, it's either been people who aren't in his weight division, which he's pulling up, or fighters ranked in the lower half of the top 10 lightweight list. The fights people have truly wanted to see just have never materialized, and simply that's why people criticize him. If the likes of Crawford never fought Spence or Usyk never fought Fury or Joshua, they would have caught the same level of flack. The reason why fighters like them are applauded is because generally they take on whatever challenge is in front of them. Tank instead, his whole career has bobbed and weaved around the most significant challenges that the people actually want to see, unless he has everything his way.
Another major concern surrounding this fight is the huge weight gap between the two fighters. Jake Paul normally walks around close to cruiserweight size, while Gervonta Tank Davis competes in the lightweight to super lightweight divisions. That's a difference of nearly 60 to 70 pounds, something the structure of boxing is designed to prevent. Weight classes exist for a reason, to protect fighters from unfair matchups, where power and size could cause serious harm. If fights like this start to become normal, it raises a big question. What's the point of weight divisions anymore? Even if it's labeled as an exhibition, the physical imbalance makes it both risky and questionable from a competitive standpoint.
I think there's no rehydration clause, which I don't believe there is. He'll probably weigh around 215 pounds in the ring. That means there's a sort of a 60 to 70 pound difference between the two men in the ring on fight night, which is absolutely enormous. There are weight classes for a reason in boxing, and this is the sort of thing that is typically not allowed or permitted. And like I said in my intro, it goes to the heart of that key question in boxing, which is how big is too big? It's the reason that the pound for pound list exists, where we kind of imagine if everybody was the same size, who's the best, who's number one? And it's a debate that rages on and on and on. And so when I see a fight like this, I think the hardcore boxing fans, generally speaking, have felt frustrated by it. Yes, because we want Gervonta Davis as part of the actual sport, competing for world titles against the other elite guys in his weight class. But also because if he gets knocked out and loses to Jake Paul, it creates this illusion that Jake Paul's much better than he actually is. And so I guess the question for me is, can Gervonta Davis beat Jake Paul, or will Jake Paul simply be too massive? Can Jake Paul use his size, or will Gervonta Davis simply be too skilled? What's the answer here? And in trying to answer this, I looked to history, and there's one fight that immediately popped out in my mind, and I thought, I wonder what the size difference was there. In fact, it may even be more significant, and it was, and the small guy won. Some of you might be thinking about it right now. It's when David Haye took on the monster, the absolutely ginormous human being, Nikolai Valuev. I think it took place around 2009. So at the time, I was literally a teenager. I didn't have a clue what I was looking at, and I'd fully bought into this David versus Goliath story. But I think it's an excellent example here to draw comparisons between the Gervonta Davis-Jake Paul fight to try and understand whether or not this is a good template and blueprint to try and predict and understand what the size difference might look like in the ring. Now, David Haye was 6'3", and was 217 pounds for the Valiev fight, whereas Valiev was 7 foot tall and weighed 316 pounds.
Another major concern surrounding this fight is the huge weight gap between the two fighters. Jake Paul normally walks around close to cruiserweight size, while Gervonta Tank Davis competes in the lightweight to super lightweight divisions. That's a difference of nearly 60 to 70 pounds, something the structure of boxing is designed to prevent. Weight classes exist for a reason, to protect fighters from unfair matchups, where power and size could cause serious harm. If fights like this start to become normal, it raises a big question. What's the point of weight divisions anymore? Even if it's labeled as an exhibition, the physical imbalance makes it both risky and questionable from a competitive standpoint.
Purists hate it, the algorithm loves it, and both will watch. It's not just who wins, it's what wins. Will the entertainment value or the ring IQ come out on top? Because if Tank dominates, the meme dies. Jake Paul survives or hits it big, we see new rules are going to be written in real time. Me, you, maybe everyone at some point has been that bigger guy thinking that I'll just bully him. Jab, slip, liver shot, sat me down real nicely. Size helped until it didn't. All I'm saying is, let's not dismiss something because it looks weird. Many fights get decided by the details. Feet before fists, timing before muscle, discipline before clout. Look, Tank wins if he stays Tank. He's built on patience, traps, explosive counters. That's hell for a tall guy who gets eager. Jake's long jab is the gate, but Tank's head movement get rearranged. Think locksmith versus padlock. Big padlock looks scary until the right tool clicks once. Jake throws that overhand like he's bowling with the shoulder.
Promoter Eddie Hearn offered one of the most direct opinions on this matchup. He explained that boxing and entertainment are two very different worlds, and when they start to blend, the sport begins to lose its true identity. According to Hearn, the fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul isn't about real competition. It's a business move, designed for attention and profit, not for legacy or championship glory. He warned that this kind of approach is dangerous, because if fans start to accept such matchups as normal, it could damage the credibility of the entire sport. Coming from someone who's seen how quickly entertainment boxing can overshadow genuine title fights, Hearn's warning carries serious weight.
That there was a chance that Jake would fight in November. I think, wasn't I the one that broke Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis 6 months ago or something? I know that I knew that they'd agree that deal. I didn't know they were about to announce it then, but I did know that they'd agreed that deal previously. So I don't like it, if I'm honest. I mean, I think we need to really differentiate between boxing and an entertainment concept, and that's what that is. It's a freak show, it's entertainment, it's a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight, you know, with, I don't know, is it bigger gloves and certain minutes per round? I don't know what it is, but, you know, I understand the market and I understand this freak show shock kind of the world mentality of people potentially tuning in. Is that a step too far? Maybe. I mean, I hated Jake Paul against Mike Tyson, but it did massive numbers. I hate Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis. It'll probably do massive numbers. So that's when you really have to differentiate yourself between, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't going to do good.
Former world champion Sean Porter offered a more personal take on Jake Paul's rise in boxing. He explained that most fighters who agree to face Jake do it for financial reasons, not out of respect for his boxing ability. The money is hard to turn down, and few boxers can resist those kinds of paydays. However, Porter believes Jake still hasn't earned genuine respect within the boxing world. The recognition he gets is mostly surface level. People admire his business moves, not necessarily his skills in the ring. Jake and his team understand promotion better than most, but true respect in boxing only comes from facing and defeating elite opponents, something that money alone can't buy. This entire matchup reflects how the sport is evolving into a business-first industry. For Jake Paul, it's another opportunity to prove he can compete with real boxers. For Gervonta Tank Davis, it's a test of how far his brand and influence can extend beyond the sport itself. Both men are marketing giants in their own way. But while Jake builds fame through spectacle, Tank builds his legacy through skill.